We have arrived in Whittier. It's early in the morning. It's about 6:02 in the morning right now. We're going to be boarding our train here in a little while and heading toward Denali National Park. Here's a view out our stateroom balcony just before we have to leave the boat, leave the ship. Pretty place. Apparently you're docked on the other side. It's docked on the starboard side where our stateroom is. We're on our train now. We're leaving Whittier. The last look at the Sapphire Ship.
I didn't know they must have just recently strung those. I don't remember those being up there the other day. All the flags.
Oh, right there leaving.
I think they just recently strung them up. But it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the movies. They got movies up there on the theater.
Oh yeah.
Movies.
Yeah, you see the movie screen up there.
They're one big advertisement right there.
Right down the swimming pool.
What is the last?
Good morning there, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing?
Fine.
Hello.
I'm fine.
Welcome to Whittier. Welcome to Alaska. Hi, my name is Marcus. I'm going to be your host and guide on our rail journey today. We are obviously moving along here, and we're going to begin breakfast service or meal service very, very shortly. But before we do that, I have a few safety regulations I need to go over. Washrooms, I believe in the ARR they are hand sensors, automatic sensors down there, so make sure not to place your handbags in the sink due to the automatic. Oh, they're push. Never mind, forget that. Erase that. All the other Princess cars are automatic. Here, there's going to be push buttons. Just push a button, the water will work. When you hit the flush button, just hit it once. There's a little bit of a delay, but it will work its magic. And finally, remember to lock the doors.
Oh yeah, I took something earlier. I think I took Xantec. I'm not sure what I did.
It's all waterfall.
Where?
We're taking our time here. We're coming up to the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel.
Yep. I'm going to go grab my
This is the only way in and out of Whittier. America like this that is shared by both rail and automobiles at 2.5 miles. The project for the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel began in the year 2000. Princess is the only company that has access to this port here in Whittier. You will only see Princess cars riding through here.
Oh. We got complete access to Alaska, huh?
Would you like to look at the dining menu? Right. When you finish with them, just give us
We're waiting for the tunnel we're going through. It's one way for both vehicle traffic as well as railroads. So we're waiting for our time to go through it. It's open for 15 minutes at a time each direction. And the trains and railroad both share the tunnel. And the traffic actually goes on top of the railroad tracks. We'll see it when we get up there.
Once we go through the tunnel, I'll be walking up and down the aisle with these ride guides. If you're curious about them or you just want to check them out before you make the purchase, you're more than welcome. But it's going to get a little dark in here, so I'll just wait until after we pass through the tunnel. While we're going through, there's going to be a brief moment where I'm going to turn off the lights just so you can see the inside of the tunnel. But it's just going to be for a few seconds. There are lights within the tunnel, so it's not going to be completely black. But I'll just do it for a few moments, just so you can see the interior of Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel.
No, it's disappeared up there.
guys came in and stacked snow up over there at the base of the pole. There's a tunnel. Tunnel's supposed to be about 2.5 miles long. It's a long tunnel.
Once in a while, on the 3 o'clock side, you'll see a little cutaway section with the door that's going to be for emergency purposes.
I remember when this tunnel opened. I was reading about it.
I've never been in a tunnel 2.5 miles long. Must be an awful big mountain.
Yeah, it's like
When did they build this?
it's opened in 2000. I remember reading about it somewhere, maybe in the last maybe 5 or something.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to turn off the lights for just a brief moment.
We're in the dark. Red light. Red light.
Hey.
Lines up. Trail there. They had lights.
Alright, going to turn the lights back on here, so mind your eyes. I see a few more photos. I'll wait until you're done taking those photos there.
Done taking the photos.
See a few cameras up.
I'm taking the video.
Looking at your camera.
Alright, the video.
But you may have to turn the lights on so you can get there. He sees hands up. That's what he's looking at.
Oh, seeing a few more cameras come up. I'll wait a few moments.
Put your hands down. Maybe you can do your thing.
Hey, take your picture every time the light goes out. I see you.
See my picture in the dark?
You're flashing off and on as the light.
He's being very patient there.
I'll take that. Take that.
Turn his lights back.
Take that one.
Alrighty, I'm going to bring the lights up here.
Running to the Whittier tunnel.
Right to the Rainier.
Whittier tunnel. Coming to dinner.
Margarita?
opposite end of this tunnel. We're going to be within Bear Valley here. Alrighty, here we are. You can see Portage Glacier there off on the 9 o'clock side. We're pretty much from 9 o'clock stretching back to 6 o'clock, all the way to the 3 o'clock side. We're pretty much surrounded by glaciers though. You can even look directly behind us, Menard Mountain. There's also a glacier just hanging over the top of the mountain too.
That's like bear country. Because the bears like to run around down here in the base of the mountain.
There's pink salmon over there that are here. Those are the ones you need reservations for.
This is the day that a tsunami from the 1964 earthquake came in. And the salt water coming in here from the tsunami killed all the spruce trees. That's why there's the dead trees right here.
Back over to the railroad depot, and the train leaves at about 4, and you're on the Denali Where are you going? Right here? Right there. Perfect. Just in time for me to come talk to you.
These lodges run detached like that.
Yeah.
For the upgraded one, we can, I mean, you'd
there'd be
have to
several
upgrade
rooms.
each. It runs tomorrow, it runs at 8:20 a.m. Tomorrow morning, you're going to be on the 8:30 number 112.
Good seats. Mama's on the inside seat now. And I'm on that side.
And then you have 1 hour.
On the outskirts of
You can walk
Anchorage.
out on those marshes. And that's that.
Yeah, the trails. Kill those houses on the hill over there.
I think he wanted those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is one of my favorite areas here on the 9 o'clock side. You'll see a lot of these planes here. This is actually a landing strip that is right behind residential homes here. It is illegal to have a landing strip like this, but before it was made into a law, this landing strip was here, so it was grandfathered into that law. One in every 56th Alaskan has their pilot's license, with about 2/3 of the state only being accessible by plane. Having that license is a necessity.
We're in Anchorage. With the shopping mall here. Go with your back home then.
About 40% of the entire population of the state, around 300,000 people, call Anchorage home. The whole state holding over 700,000 people.
When we were up there, there's a playground up there, and I wondered why it was so low. I thought, well, you know, when they were telling me about that.
They cover over 87,000 acres.
I don't remember anything but a bunch of trees.
Elmendorf, their slogan is top cover and global engagement. You'll see it coming up here on their sign, 9 o'clock, for Elmendorf Air Force Base.
There it is.
Yeah, so
Lined up there at about 7 o'clock position. There are E3, C-12, C-130s, F-22s, and also the Stealth Raptor. And just past the gravel quarry on the 9 o'clock side, we're going to pass up the training facility for the Anchorage Fire Department. It looks like they're doing a little bit of training here today.
Fire trucks.
Countries, you could go back to their homeland.
Right. We're calling this the Polar Express because it feels like we're on the Polar Express here. As we travel north of the Great
Yes.
Here off on the 9 o'clock side, you'll see a cache. Basically, it looks like a doghouse on stilts there. And that is used by hunters and trappers. It's at about 7 o'clock now. The reason why it's so high above the ground is so that hunters and trappers can bear gaining access in there. When in the bush, we'll sometimes get bear fat
What do you have for lunch,
keep
mate?
animals away.
I had a chicken sandwich.
Oh, chicken
Very,
sandwich.
very good.
Okay. And now we're waiting for our ice cream, which should be coming in. Those glasses, they're very heavy. Favorite is the mouse along the track.
One fast train.
This is Wasilla Lake. You're on our 3 o'clock side. Popular recreation destinations. Got a lot of boating, swimming, jet skiing, wave runners out there.
You want me to go on upstairs?
Now, 9 o'clock, there's going to be a short little photo opportunity of the Wasilla Town sign. It's going to be coming up here in just a moment. And it's going to be in between the American flag as well as the state flag. And it's going to be supporting the Iditarod non-sled logo. We're going to be making this turn, and it's going to be coming up here in just a moment. Get your cameras ready. It's going to be a quick pass by, and here it is coming up 9 o'clock.
It's your flag right here.
Oh, I see.
So there's over 10,250 people that live here in Wasilla. Wasilla was named after Chief Wasilla, an Athabascan Native Alaskan, with his name is translated into English that are 20 acres or larger. So again, we're going to stop right along this train. This is a time where if we're low on something or if they're low on something, we can exchange these goods. There's also a time where we can send meat mail to our friends, family members, loved ones on the opposite train. Or write a little letter, hand it to our steward. He'll hand it to the steward on the opposite train and give them out to the correct people.
Pretty interesting. Here he comes. Okay.
All right, here comes that locomotive. Get your cameras ready.
Easy.
Yeah, there's a better wave.
And they're standing up in there waving it up.
So if you want to give them a good old wave, just look over at Stacy in the center of the car. She'll show you how to do the old moose wave. Or if you want, you could just stare at them awkwardly. But do me a favor, actually. Act like you're having a lot better of a time than they are. Just act like you're laughing and giving it up. Just show that our car's a lot better than theirs. Keep the shirts on, though, please.
Oh, they're making faces. They're making faces. Oh, they're sweet. That's funny.
Area where a clear water stream is meeting up with the silt-laden river. That is a snow melt stream that is creating that clear water. The salmon will swim up a bit, shake vigorously to get the silt off their gills, and then continue up the silt-laden river. So the salmon that are going to be coming up here are coming from the Gulf of Alaska through the Cook Inlet and up the Susitna River to their original spawning grounds. Clock to see the front of it once we pass it up. So here's the caboose, and finally locomotive rotary number 3. At the time that it was built in 1920, it was the only steel bridge north of Anchorage and the longest single-span bridge west of the Mississippi River. This is going to be our last view of the Susitna River. And then the dams are coming up here. Here's one that had broken in the past.
Oh, yeah.
And then the larger one is coming up here right by this tall spruce tree, 3 o'clock. So feel free to take all the damn pictures you want. You can see a lot of the trees that the beavers had cut down in the past. Yep, this is the train that left Fairbanks this morning just a little after 8 a.m. Now some people might be worried traveling over a bridge that's over 90 feet long or over 90 years old. But don't fret, the Alaska Railroad does test this bridge out regularly. In fact, they test it out twice a day. Once with a northbound train, once with a southbound train. We'll see how our northbound run goes. Then for those of you on the 9 o'clock side, if you look over the edge, you can see some wreckage down there on the 9 o'clock side. And that is actually a result of too many people leaning on one side of the car.
The gal that I was working for said, no, not quite, but you better get your stuff organized for your winter job. And I thought, on August 1st? And she said, well, I can offer you a job up here above the Arctic Circle if you'd like to stay. And I thought, oh my, where the sun actually doesn't come above the horizon for over 3 or 4 weeks in the wintertime, and it's commonly 30, 40 below zero. And I thought, I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
And then as we're making our way a little bit further here, you're going to notice some huge boulders, some huge chunks of boulders that are just randomly sitting around, and they're relatively sharp and jagged. This is not a result of the last ice age. A couple of them sprouting up here, 9 o'clock. Today it is a RV and campground at the entrance of Denali National Park Preserve with running water and electricity. There's actually going to be a brief moment where we can see a clear water stream flowing into the silt-laden river. And you should be able to see it now directly 3 o'clock. Again, the clear water stream has that turquoise look.
Oh yeah. See the turquoise?
When we roll into the depot, we're going to come to a stop. If everyone could please remain seated in the dome, there's a few things we need to get organized on the ground first. Once we have that organized, we're going to give Stacy the okay to start disembarkment, and then we'll start unloading the train. We're all going to be unloading that back stairwell. Remember to use your the hand railings, as we're going to have our train lakes now, so it's going to be a little wobbly, so be mindful of that. I will be on the outside to say our final goodbyes, so let's hold the sobbing until then. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Denali National Park Preserve. Again, if you were a little displeased with the lack of wildlife you saw on the train, keep in mind we have this giant locomotive creating a lot of noise, scaring off the animals.